So, welcome to the next showcase on this channel. Today we are on the Build the Earth New Zealand server. It's a pretty small build team, but yeah, they want to show their progress, and we will. So I'm together with the build team leader. It's America.
Hi.
And with an admin, it's OCM.
Hi.
Yeah, so like, what's about the map? So this is the map where you can teleport to the different places. So yeah, let's talk about the map.
Okay, so this is, as you said, the map of New Zealand. It's got, the most of what New Zealand is, except for like Antarctica, that we claim a little bit of. But yeah, so we have the North Island, which is the, I guess, the most populated island of the country, where most of people, the industry, all of that. And that's where the biggest city, Auckland, is. And at the bottom of the North Island, we have Wellington, which is the capital of the country. Which is quite kind of odd because it's not the biggest city, but the reason it's there is because it's roughly in the middle of the country. And then we have the South Island here, which is where people will have seen in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, that sort of thing, with its scenery.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Christchurch here, which is like the biggest city of the island.
All right. So where are we going to start?
We will start with Wellington. So Wellington is the city that we've had the most progress with so far. This is Wellington, well, a part of Wellington. And Wellington is, like I said, is the capital of New Zealand. It's the city that we've probably had the most progress with in terms of building. This is just where the warp goes to. Oh, no, the pressure plate, yeah. So this is the part of Wellington that's had the most progress. As you can see, it's mostly just like low-density commercial buildings, this area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is mostly built by, I think it's completely built by Donny D, which is one of our builders.
Mm-hmm. I see all the houses are perfectly aligned to the grid.
Yeah.
Cool. That's really lucky.
Yeah. So like on the previous projection that we had, I forgot what it was called, but that one was like at a 45-degree angle or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But now with this new projection, it's actually like pretty much perfect in terms of being in line with the grid.
Cool. Okay. It's really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, we've had to do a bit of terraforming with Wellington, since it's quite a hilly city, and it's obvious there seems to be quite a big pattern with the more closer you get to the sea and the coast, the terraforming is more important.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's been quite important here.
Okay. I see you have quite a lot of progress on the city. It's really flat architecture, but I mean, cool. Okay, so then let's go on, I would say.
So yeah, this is Auckland, the biggest city in New Zealand, and this is roughly the center, I guess you could say. And this is the plot that we used for the build battle against the Queensland team.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. This is the Sky Tower, which is
the most iconic building of New Zealand. So yeah, this is just the central part of the city near the CBD. So you have the insurance companies and banks and all that sort of office buildings near this area.
As you can sort of see, we didn't finish most of the plot.
Yeah, we didn't quite finish
because we didn't have many builders. We had 4 builders, and yeah.
Okay.
But that sort of let us down in the scoring against the Queensland.
Yeah.
But
we'll probably come back later and add more detail to all of this stuff.
Yeah. So this is. Oh, wait, are you ready? Yeah. So this is the Auckland Viaduct, which is near the harbour, and yeah, we've sort of started focusing a bit more on Auckland since before this we were sort of all spread out across the whole country, building in different cities, building in different regions. But now we've decided to sort of focus on Auckland for the next month and a half until the end of September, and then we'll move down to Christchurch and then Wellington, and then we might go to another city, or we might come back to Auckland just to get a bit more progress going.
Yeah, just so that we can get more, I guess, like to show to people instead of having like for example, this is just one building in this area. Oh, two buildings.
Two, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you was to put more work in small areas, so like specific
Yeah,
areas.
just
Okay,
to
Yeah.
cool.
give more things to show. Yeah.
And,
Okay,
then, and this is also near where the America's Cup's gonna be. Well, if it goes ahead.
Okay.
Um,
Cool. So some people might remember or like realize this place. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, this is like quite close to the previous block with the Sky Tower. It's about 1 kilometer north, I'd say. But as you can see, the terrain around here is pretty hilly for like New Zealand city standards, anyway.
Okay. So let's go on.
Yeah. So this is Dilworth. It is a boarding school in Auckland. Again, we're still in Auckland. So there's not that many of this type of school, like boarding schools, around anymore. It's sort of a thing of the past. And so, yeah, it's a decently sized school. It's in central Auckland. You're about 4 kilometers from where we were at the Sky Tower.
Okay.
So it's not too far away. And yeah, it's quite nice because it's like one of the own. Well, yeah, there's not many boarding schools around anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see there's like a church, which is pretty rare in New Zealand to have religious schools because it's not really that much of a religious country.
Schools, so
yeah, and it's not really a religious country, to be honest. Okay. So this is Avondale College, which is located in West Auckland, so west of the Sky Tower, and it's one of the biggest schools in New Zealand, with a roll of around 3,000 students, which is quite a lot for New Zealand. It's a public high school, and it was recently quite famous because they reported a COVID-19 case.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite big news in New Zealand since we're obviously trying to eliminate it. But yeah. And yeah, this was built by Pulsar, and it was built around a month ago. But obviously it's not finished yet, so yeah. So this is the Pacific Tower in Christchurch. It's the tallest building in the South Island. As Mikula said earlier, the Southern Islands are more known as sort of the nature and this sort of island you go for scenery.
Okay.
And it's about a quarter the size or a third of the size of the North Island. And yeah, Christchurch is the biggest city in the South Island. The population of around 400,000 people.
Okay.
And yeah, this is the tallest building. And then on the other side here, this is New Regent Street. New Regent Street is has been called like one of New Zealand's most beautiful streets. Like, it's been voted it quite a few times. And yeah, it's very like photogenic, and it's good for like tourists. And then there's all wee shops. And yeah.
So the South Island is more like a tourist part, and Christchurch is a lot of tourism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the North Island's sort of like the business. Yeah, kind of. It's still very beautiful up there, but yeah, it's not so much known for its scenery, I guess. Some more buildings, and this kind of long, short building is Turanga, which is a library in Christchurch. And yeah, so Christchurch had a big earthquake around 9 years ago. It was really sad, and yeah, the government's been trying to put a lot of money into like rebuilding up the infrastructure in Christchurch and like the Canterbury area, just to bring back tourists and bring back like business and people back into the city.
Okay.
And so yeah, Turanga was one of the major projects. So this is Victoria Street, which is located still in Christchurch, still on the northern side of the CBD. This is a clock tower, which is like really old, and then just here is an abandoned building. Obviously, Christchurch was quite affected by the earthquake, and this building was the same, and it's quite badly affected. And yeah, this is one of the more built-up streets in Christchurch. Obviously, since the earthquake, a lot of buildings got knocked down, but this one got quite a bit built in Christchurch.
Okay.
Obviously, not in Minecraft, doesn't have much built, but like in real life.
And all this water on the ground is just by the cubic chunks mod, or like 1-to-1 mod. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a bug.
Yeah. So Christchurch has a river running through it, but the river's not that big.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not like a city in the sea.
Okay.
And yes, so there's a few more buildings down to the north, but they haven't really been worked on that much down there. Okay, so this is AMI Stadium, or Orange Theory Stadium. It's a temporary stadium in Christchurch. Since obviously we had a big stadium with around 45,000 people, and it got knocked down in the earthquake.
Okay.
So this stadium was built. It was built like over a few months, and it seats around 18,000 or 20,000 people. However, since it's temporary, you can put an extra stand for finals and things. But yeah, the old stadium's being knocked down now, so we decided there was no point in building that for the short time it lasted. Yeah, so this is a rugby stadium. However, I believe it's being used in the Women's Soccer World Cup, the FIFA one. I
Okay.
think. And it's used for a bunch of like concerts and things. But yeah, mainly rugby. And it's the home of the Crusaders, which is one of the most successful rugby teams in general.
Okay, so you have some builders just building like their home towns, or just their small areas, but not that much then. Okay, cool. But okay, this was like a quick view on everything that has been built in New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
So cool. So I hope you as a viewer liked like what you've seen. If you want to help them, of course, I think you want to search for more builders, right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
you're like only 6 active builders, and I mean, it's a big country. So if you come from New Zealand or you're just interested in the country, feel free to check them out. The link of the official Oceania Discord is down in the description, and then you can join and like apply as a builder and then start building with them. So thank you for the tour. Thank you for showing
having
around.
us.
And wish you a great day. Thank you for watching.
Too.